So welcome to another Tokyo Revengers video guys. And yeah, finally chapter 268 was released last night. Honestly, it was one of the best chapters we've had in recent times. It was so insane. When it comes to second time leaper, Hanma's character always comes to our mind. Almost half of the fandom thought Hanma was the second time leaper. 10% of those fans said that Shinichiro was also a time leaper. I wasn't too interested in it then. But now their theory has come true. I'm in shock ever since I saw this panel. Because I had many theories about the second time leaper. But it wasn't all about Shinichiro. This is actually the biggest twist in the story. I think most people think a lot about this scene right now. Shinichiro is more likely to be the person who pushed Takemichi onto the train tracks. There are many theories circulating about Shinichiro right now. So before we talk about that, as usual guys, I would kindly appreciate it if you can drop a like on the video and consider subscribing to the channel. Let's go into the video now. So basically I want to talk more about Shinichiro because some peoples call him evil. Some even call him the reincarnation of Takemichi. But for now we can't say anything for sure. So if you have any theories about Shinichiro, you guys can also share your theories with me on Instagram. But anyway, let's talk about this insane chapter. So Takemichi's power is constantly evolving in the midst of battle. This is actually a good thing for him. He cannot defeat Mikey in a real battle. So yeah, he will need some power to defeat him. Takemichi really surprised me. Because we see this scene again at the beginning of the chapter. When a kick ends, there will be a second before the next one. In that moment, I have a chance. Takemichi actually understands how his power works and waits for his next move. The reason I say this is because Takemichi is very irresponsible. It's really nice to see him like this now. I would like to mention one more thing here. We all know what Takemichi's dream is. He wanted to become a top delinquent in Japan. This has been his dream since childhood. But in the first timeline, Takemichi completely forgot about his dream. I think it has something to do with Shinichiro. Definitely timelines are constantly changing. I think it's best to mention it. There are many parallels between Shinichiro and Takemichi. But anyway, let's get back to the chapter. As expected from Chifu, he is supportive of Takemichi as always. Meanwhile Sanzu's reaction is very funny. He is still in shock. He couldn't believe that Mikey took that hard punch to the face from Takemichi. Because it's not something that happens very often. Mikey rarely gets hurt in battle. No one has ever defeated Mikey in the story so far. Mikey intentionally allows others to hurt him. Only if he feels guilty. Whenever Mikey was so mentally weak, many people took advantage of it. So yeah, we rarely get to see Mikey like this. So their reaction seems more shocking than usual. And we can see Coco here too. When Mikey destroyed the entire gang, we didn't see Senju and Coco then. I think we will see her after some next chapters. Because she has been friends with Mikey since childhood. So she also knows about Shinichiro. And in chapter 250, Sanzu said something interesting about her. So despite what people say, she still has an important role to play in this battle. So we definitely need to see her for sure. And this is my favorite scene. Actually I liked it a lot. After Takemichi knocks Mikey down, Chifu starts crying. Because he was the only person who knew Takemichi well. Only Chifu knows at first that Takemichi is a time leaper. They both did everything they could to change the future. Chifu was always there to help Takemichi. He was afraid to fight. At that point Chifu helped him. Now Takemichi fights the strongest character in the series. Although Chifu was there to help him, Takemichi wasn't the least bit afraid. Takemichi's shoulders now carry everyone's future. The only person who knew it well was Chifu. So yeah, this scene has so many meanings. Now as expected from Mikey, he gets back up. I think Mikey's reaction is the best here. Mikey calls Takemichi by name for the first time. Whenever Mikey loses his control, he doesn't care about anyone. Although he is still in the state of dark impulse, he knows everything about the future. He remembers what he promised Takemichi. I don't know If the effect of his dark impulse has waned, at least Mikey can still be saved. Even so, he still continues to fight Takemichi. Because he has no choice. Mikey hurt all his friends very much. If he does, they will leave him. That's what Mikey wanted. After learning more about his dark impulse, Mikey actually thinks it's best to stay away from his friends. He said, "If you come back, everything I've done will have been for nothing." So he really cares about all of this. This scene is a bit funny. Mikey is literally willing to sacrifice himself for everyone. Meanwhile, Takemichi is willing to face any danger to save him. Draken died because that Takemichi came back to the past. Things keep getting worse in this timeline. Mikey and Takemichi both have their own reasons for being like this. Both of their opinions are valid. If Mikey really cares about his friends this much, then I'd say it's worth that Takemichi actually came here. We also know that Mikey killed his friends in previous timelines. But at that time there was no one to understand him. As Takemichi said, at the end of the day, the darkness inside you is so deep. Mikey has lost everyone close to him in those timelines. But yeah, I personally think he really deserves to be saved. That's the reason why Takemichi doesn't give up on him easily. Mikey will never show his true self to anyone. I mean, he doesn't really cry in front of others. But Takemichi has seen Mikey cry many times. You can only ask for help at the moment of death. We all know Takemichi is talking about that Bonton arc. Even Manila Mikey only cried when he was about to die. He also wanted to end it all. He wanted to die. Takemichi only knows about dark impulse. He does not know his real reason. Mikey doesn't answer him and continues to attack him. Even now, Mikey didn't say anything to that Takemichi. He tries to keep everything to himself. Finally, this is what I wanted to see for a long time. After Takemichi goes to the future, we don't know what happened in those 2 years. Because why Mikey created the Kanto Manji gang. At that time only Sanzu was with Mikey. And Sanzu is well aware of Mikey's dark impulse. Although Mikey's friends and Hina were alive in the Bonton timeline, that timeline was very different compared to the others. I'm really curious to know what happened in those 2 years. However, once again Mikey didn't answer his question. He didn't talk about what happened in those 2 years. But this is very important. Mikey's character changed completely in the final arc. Ken Wakui-sensei actually portrayed him as an antagonist. During the battle of the three deities, we saw Mikey's dark impulse for the first time. Since the start of this battle, many have wondered why Wakasa and Benkei joined Mikey's gang. Even I lost interest in their character. This is really huge news. Wakasa also knows about Time Leap. I really didn't expect this. As expected, there are 2 timelines in the story. Akin wasn't the one who pushed Takemichi off the rails in the first place. It's now certain that it was another person. Mikey says, "Dark impulse born out of love." I still don't know exactly what this means. But Shinichiro also tries to save Mikey. I know this page would have shocked everyone. Because Shinichiro is also a time leaper. It was totally unexpected. Shinichiro has very little screen time in the story. But now after this, we get to know more about Shinichiro as well. But we don't know how time travel works. If Shinichiro is a time leaper, who is his trigger? Ken Wakui-sensei has really made the biggest twist in the story. Wakasa only knows that Shinichiro is a time leaper. But surely Wakasa is unlikely to trigger him. At least in my opinion. Takemichi says at the end of the chapter, "Your brother is the one who." So yeah, I think the meaning of this will be revealed to us in the next chapter. Who Shinichiro really is. Why did he want to save Mikey? There are many such questions. Indeed, the story is now more interesting than we expected. Let me know below if you have any theories. But anyway. So if you guys like this video, hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe. And good luck to all.